So how are you girls doing?
We're doing great.
It's
Thank
been
you
a
for
crazy
asking.
few weeks, but yes, this is finally actually feeling like spring. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes. I mean, what is this pandemic? What has quarantine really been like for both of you?
I know that it has been crazy for most of the families,
Mhm.
but for us, I think since I homeschool and since I'm a stay-at-home mom, it hasn't affected us as much probably as it has other people. So I feel very blessed in that aspect because Chad's business is still been going great because everybody needs Mr. Fix It. So I feel like we're very blessed in that aspect. We've been trying to look on the bright side because we've been able to spend a lot of time together because we really haven't been going to a lot of places. So that's a blessing.
Evan and I, of course, were newly married when all of this started going down with the new baby. So it really made us value relationships. I think with each other, just really digging in and communicating, and then watching our little girl grow up and cross over these milestones. So we just really tried to look on the bright side of it. I know it was a very difficult time and still is for a lot of people. So our hearts go out to them. But yes, we're very grateful for having each other and still healthy. And yeah.
Definitely. I mean, what was it like having a newborn and now a 1-year-old in quarantine?
Oh my goodness, it was crazy. Me and Evan laugh about it because we felt like we were literally doing nothing but baby watching. Of course, we were at home all of the time, so we were taking multiple walks a day, and honestly, we wouldn't trade it for anything. We enjoyed every moment of it. Watching her smile and sit up and start crawling, and now that she's 1, she is so active. She always wants to be down, and it's warming up outside, so outside's her favorite place.
Mhm.
So it's been an exciting time in our life for sure.
Definitely. I mean, you recently, I know she just recently celebrated her first birthday, and you said on Instagram that it was one of the most significant moments of your life. How so?
Honestly, it so was in so many ways. I literally cannot even. I feel like being a mother was such a dream growing up. And now that I'm to this point and I have a 1-year-old, it feels so surreal that we have this baby girl, this precious gift, and seeing her look at the world and through her eyes is it's honestly overwhelming,
Mhm.
and we're so thrilled to be a part of her life. So it was definitely a significant moment to watch her look around and react to things more and
Mhm.
show so much emotion. It it was so memorable.
Yeah. Were you almost sad that she was turning a year old? I know when my daughter turned like a year old, I was like, oh no, like I feel like this big milestone is about to be crossed. And I'm sure Erin, you can relate too, because I'm sure like it's just like she's not a baby anymore.
I know it was happy and sad. So
Mhm.
there were definitely tears shed.
Yeah, definitely. And I
I
know
think
you,
when you're a mom, you learn to embrace every different season.
that
It's
is so
really
true.
special.
That is so true. And I know you opened up about Layla's heart issues back in May. How is she doing now? And can you give us a little bit of a health update?
She is doing so much better. Evan and I were talking about this the other day. It was such a scary time when we first brought her home from the hospital, and she started dealing with different breathing issues, and later learned that it was because of the small hole in her heart.
Mhm.
But she has gotten so much stronger. We're so proud of her. We haven't had any recent scares, which we're thanking the Lord for. A lot of you guys are like praying for us, and we're so grateful for that. So at this point, she's doing well. She's having regularly checkups, but we have a big one coming up, and they will do the whole look at her heart, see if it's healed. So we're actually waiting on that appointment. So we're just keeping many prayers and trusting the Lord with those
Good, good.
results.
Definitely. Well, keeping her in our thoughts as well. And Erin,
Thank
I
you
know,
for asking.
of course, I know, Erin, you recently wrote on Instagram about having multiple surgeries to have an ovary removed. How are you feeling?
It has been a roller coaster the past few months. So goodness, I don't even know where to start. Basically, I've had COVID twice, and ever since the second time that I had it, I started having all of these female issues, and it caused a lot of internal bleeding. So with the first surgery, they just removed all of the blood. The second surgery, they ended up taking out one of my ovaries. And then the last surgery, they removed most of my second ovary.
right now we're just dealing with trying to balance hormones.
Wow.
With hormone therapy and stuff like that. So it's been a learning experience. And I'm very grateful for Chad because he's had to take, I think, the hard part and just take care of me and take care of the kids. And it's been an emotional experience. I think I felt like during pregnancy, you know, my hormones were kind of stable, but now I am like either crying or like upset. It's been something new we've had to experience. So trying to glean from other people that have gone through similar situations. But I feel very blessed to be where we're at right now.
Right. Oh my God, that's so scary. So like, do you think that this was definitely like a COVID related issue?
They're actually trying to figure out what exactly causes this, but they feel like it could definitely be related to COVID, how it affects all the internal bleeding and stuff like that. So I think it's such a new sickness that the doctors don't know the answers right now. So we're just taking one day at a time and trying to get my health where it should be right now.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, what are kind of like the long-term, I mean, it looks like you're fully recovered. I don't know, like, but like, what are the long-term effects of what you just went through as well?
The major effects are just crazy hormones, night sweats. It's almost like when you go through menopause, you feel all the like mood swings and stuff like that, which I've never experienced anything like that. So we're just trying to figure all of that out, and a lot of female issues that I've never had before. So it's a new experience, but I'm so grateful for the doctors and for the wisdom and the house, everybody that helped us through this process, because it's such a long journey, it feels like. But I think we're finally at the end of the tunnel, I hope, and seeing the light. So I think it's a new phase, and we're going to be able to look in the past, and hopefully it'll be a new start.
Definitely. Well, I wish you a speedy and healthy recovery. And I don't know if this is too personal to ask, but like, does this affect if you want to have children going forward?
I think one of the hardest parts for me would probably be the fact that to ever get pregnant again would be like a huge miracle, because I basically have 1/3 of an ovary left, but it's very scarred from 3 surgeries. So at this point, it's not in the question at all, which is kind of sad, because me and Chad always talked about we're going to have at least, 10 children. But, you never know what God has for the future. Sometimes it's not like what you plan or how you envision it. So I don't know what God has for us down the road, but we're definitely open to many options. And I'm very grateful for the children that I have, because I know a lot of women have experienced this even before they got married. So I feel very blessed in that I already have 4 children. So I'm going to just really treasure them and thank the Lord for the 4 blessings that we already have.
Definitely. Well, you have 4 beautiful babies. You definitely do. And do you guys get together to do a lot of play dates together?
We try to get together at least once a week, or close to it. Whitney is in the back seat. I don't know if you can see her. Sorry.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
We're all working at the boutique together, but Whitney's kids are my kids' best friends. So every chance we get to spend time together, we try to. Carson's so sweet. He told me, he said, Mom, he's like, I don't have a brother. He's like, and he's naming all of these siblings that have brothers. And he's like, but Mom, he's like, can Bradley be my brother? And I'm like, oh, fine. Because they're like almost the same age. So I think they think they're brothers. They're definitely really the sweet. Best of friends. They are best friends.
That is so sweet. Well, I have to say congratulations to you, Whitney. I know that you are having a baby boy in a few months, right?
Yes, not too long. We're over halfway, so we're very excited. Thank you.
I think we're due right because I'm having a baby boy in June. I think you're having a baby boy in June as well. So we're time. Thank you.
Do you have a bump? Show us your bump.
Oh my God. Oh God. I don't, it's so embarrassing. Little bump.
I love baby bumps. You are so cute. Oh,
thank you.
That is so cute.
It's my second, but I was saying before, it's like, I never realized that you pop so much earlier this time.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, you're adorable.
Thank
You're
you.
adorable.
Thank you.
That
Thank
is
you.
so sweet.
Thank you. Whitney, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I'm obviously a lot more tired nowadays, but I have the 3 kids that keep me busy. So I feel like this pregnancy is flying by because I have so much going on. But yeah, we're doing great, hanging in there, and everything seems to be going well.
Good. Erin, did you give her any advice for handling 4?
I know. I told her I'm going to be calling her all the time. How did you do this with 4 kids?
Whitney is so easygoing. She's going to be a wonderful mom because I feel like when you're a mom, especially of like 2 or more kids, it's all about just being patient, just rolling with the punches, no matter what your child does or what the day brings. Just take it easy and never get upset. So I think Whitney will be
I have older siblings that can go through all this and coach me when it's my turn. They're the guinea pigs.
Totally. I mean, Carlin, do you have a number in mind of how many kids that you want?
Oh my goodness. We've talked back and forth, but right now we're just like so excited and cherishing every little moment with Layla. But we'll see. Who knows? Yeah. My husband is from a family of 6, and then of course my family has 19. My parents are my mom's super mom. I don't think I could ever have 19, but I definitely want a few. So.
Maybe between 6 and 19.
Right. Whitney, are you going for 19?
We'll see.
Yeah. Whitney, is 19 in the cards for you?
I don't know about that number. Sounds a little high, but we'll see. Well, I'm sure we'll have a few more, but probably not quite 19.
Right. No. Now, how do you all?
She would be great.
Now, how do you all do date nights at home with your husbands with, obviously young kids running around and, you're homeschooling and doing things like that. So how do you make time for each other? Carlin, you want to kick us off?
Oh man, I feel like I'm not the person to ask this to because I have 1 child. So right now, my life is pretty easy compared to my sisters with 4 and 3. But actually, Layla is such a chill baby. We were so blessed. She is very easily entertained. So I can throw a few books on the ground and toys, and she has her own little space. So we actually get to have in-home date nights a lot. So we're grateful for that. We also love car dates. Layla loves the car. So she loves to look out at the trees one. So we spend a lot of time driving around and picking up food and going to like our happy places. There's an area close to us called Norristam where actually Evan asked me to be his official girlfriend. Aww. So we call that our happy place. So we go there a lot, there often. But so far it's been great. I don't know how it'll be with 4 kids. So I'll have to ask.
I think the hardest age is like 2 or 3 under. But once they turn 4 and 5, I think they're very self-entertained. So my oldest little boy, Carlin, and Brooklyn, my 4-year-old, they love coloring, they love crafts, and they will keep themselves busy for like an hour or 2. So I think the hard part is keeping Everly and Holland happy and content. So we try to plan it a lot of times around their nap time, like on Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, where we can just spend quality time together. And it's not necessarily around a fancy dinner or anything like that, even though that's nice. I think we just try to make the best of it, whether it's a picnic outside, going for a drive, sitting in the living room, cuddling, or just talking about the day. So we try to really prioritize time together, whether it's a date or just really good quality time together.
Definitely. Bless you.
Excuse me.
I'm a lot like Erin with when it comes to 4 kids, you just have to make it work. And so you kind of have to go with their naps and things like that, but you learn just to make the best of it. And if you can grab a date night and get a babysitter, that's awesome. And if not, you can put the kids to bed early. Sometimes we do that, and then we'll like have a movie night at home, or he'll cook at home or something like that. So we kind of just go with it. And when we can get time, we just have to make that time, whether it's just at home or getting to go out.
I always love asking people this with young kids. Do you have to like make sure you have a lock on the door in case there's any close calls every now and then?
We've had so many close calls, and actually, little failures here and there. So I think that is a learning experience. We made a family rule. You have to knock on the door before you open it. And oh my goodness, we still have our 2-year-old in our bed. We cannot seem to get her out. But we're thinking, what if this is like one of our last like moments that, you know, they want to sleep in our bed? Like, I think we're both too emotional, and we're just like, okay, this is great. But no, I don't know how my parents did it. Looking back, I'm thinking, why were they always so serious about us knocking on the door and all this? You know, we'd all be banging on the door, open the door, Saturday morning. And now it makes sense now.
Right.
Now that I see my kids all like, they're poking their hands under the door.
I love that we're being so vulnerable.
We're like,
I love it.
Hang on.
I love it. That is so funny. I mean, naturally.
Whitney wants to say.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
She's turning red. She is not.
I have heard Zach say the same thing as Erin, and he it's so funny because our kids now
it all
Bradley
makes
is 6
sense
years
now.
old, so he's always like, "What do y'all do? Can I please come in? Can I please come in?" And Zach's like, "Man, it really makes a lot of sense." So
we always tell the kids we're praying together.
I love that. That's the code word.
Very spiritual about it.
I love that. I mean, obviously you come from a huge family and, you know, with a ton of siblings, but do you all get along really well? Has there ever been sibling rivalry growing up, or have you all just been a really close-knit family?
Whenever you have people involved, there's always going to be conflict at some time. Naturally, there are siblings that their personalities meshed really well, and they were just like best friends from the get-go. But then of course there's personalities that are going to clash, you know, stronger personalities to stronger personalities, and so it's a learning experience. You have to work through that, and I think mom and dad were really good about helping us work through different issues that we had or different problems. And I think it's so sweet in the family how it's kind of like everybody has like a best friend, but then it changes, but we're constantly all being together and learning from each other. And I think a family can be a really uplifting place and atmosphere. And I think we all strive to keep those relationships really good between us all.
Yeah.
But no, there's definitely not a fight-free home.
Yes. I mean, I can't imagine that there would be. There's never any fight-free homes in any family.
No, there isn't.
Did you guys have any crazy rules that you had growing up, and any rules that you kind of incorporate into your own homes now?
I'll let Whitney start.
Whitney, I don't have hardly any memories of crazy rules we had. It was pretty low key, in my opinion. Mom and dad had a very easygoing personality. For my home, I pretty much have one rule, and that is don't get anything on my couches. They're slip cover couches that like we don't eat in the living room. But that's pretty much like our one family rule.
I love it.
I don't know. Can you think of any?
No, I haven't enforced it because my kids only want.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't feel
maybe
crazy
when they grow up.
Yes, I don't know.
This is what we were used to. So
that's right.
It's too funny. I love it. And I love that the Duggars often comment on your Instagram posts. Are you all friends with them? And do you guys share parenting advice, family advice? Because you kind of have a very similar situation.
We met the Duggars when we were, I was probably like 6 or 7, I would imagine. So it's been over 20 years since we've known them. Our families have grown close over the years, and I think a lot of people have bonded with different personalities or different people. And yeah, I think they've been great friends. Jessa has been a sweetheart and a big encouragement to me. So we text occasionally with different questions or different book recommendations. We both love to read. So yeah, I think Carlin's best friend is Joy. So yeah, I think
Joy is a sweetheart for sure. We've been friends, like instant best friends, when we were like 10 years old. The first time we actually hung out, and yeah, we pretty much call every single day. We're always FaceTiming. So I am always getting advice for her because she's like right a step ahead of me. She just had her second baby.
Right.
So I'm always getting advice from her. But yeah, she's the best. So she's definitely my best friend. So we're thankful for that relationship that our families had growing up.
Definitely. That is so great. And I know your sister Josie just announced that she's expecting a baby girl. I mean, Whitney, has to be so much fun to be pregnant along with your sister.
I'll have to say it's probably the absolute funnest thing to be pregnant with your sisters-in-law, especially since I was an only child. So to go through all of these experiences are like, they're huge and they're life-changing. So to get to go through that with a sister is just, it's so fun. And to get to talk and go back and forth about things we're experiencing and what we're going through. I love it. And I know when we get older and our kids are grown, we're going to look back on the fun times that we got to be pregnant together.
Oh, definitely. It's got to be so much fun. And I know your sister is, Katie is courting Travis. And, you know, what is the one piece of advice that you give them during this courting process?
Wow, I guess that one's to me.
I guess so.
I haven't necessarily given them any advice. I don't think yet. They seem to be so in love. I'm so happy for them. But if I was going to give them advice, I'd probably say treasure every moment. Because when you're in the moment, it's like you just really want to get to the next stage. You want to be engaged and then you want to be married. But it's such a tiny window of time. And when I look back on my courtship and my engagement, those were some of the most special memories and special moments. So I would really just try to treasure those times and give it 100%. Let the other person know how much you love them, because it's seriously just such a tiny amount of time that you have to be as a dating couple. So I hope they treasure every moment.
Definitely. What would you say is probably, because I feel like people still have so many questions about courting. What would you say maybe is one of the biggest misconceptions of what courting is?
To me, probably the biggest misconception would be that courting is just like a bunch of rules. I feel like my parents put such a good emphasis on, it's not just courting to have a whole bunch of outward rules, but it is to have, dating with a purpose. Like, I'm not just going to date to play around, but I'm going to date with the intentions of, marrying this person. So that would probably be my perspective. I don't know about you. Do you have a perspective on that?
I'm sorry. I was
No worries.
I think whenever you're in a relationship, whether it's courtship or dating, it's not necessarily about what you call it, but it's what your purpose is in the relationship.
That's what I was trying to say.
Is your purpose to get to the person to see if they'd be a potential mate, or is it to just have fun and enjoy life? Because that's friendship is for, but when it's serious, it should be to get to know if you want to marry the person.
How's the boutique going? Has it been hard during, quarantine and everything like that?
While we're in the car and it is crazy right now. We just moved to our new warehouse last week.
Yeah.
So this is
trying
the
to
only
organize
quiet
and
place we could
everything
find.
is crazy.
Right here. But no, we're very, very excited because last year was predominantly us working as much as we could to make it go around, but thankfully now that we have employees, it kind of lightens our load, so we're free to do as much or as little as we like, which is really nice since we're all moms.